Why knowledge matters. Welcome to another chapter about 7 Habits of Highly Effective People by Stephen R. Covey. Welcome back, Dr. Monjour, and this time we discuss his chapter, I think probably the most important chapter for anyone in life in order to live an outstanding life is to start with you and in mind. Welcome back, Dr. Monjour. I'm so pleased. So let's dive into the material of the very own Stephen R. Covey, who unfortunately passed away, but I think his legacy is here and we still learn from him from his outstanding book, 7 Habits of Highly Effective People.
Thank you very much. Yeah, you're right. The amazing declaration, the amazing gift that Stephen Covey has bestowed upon to all of us, to humanity. It is 2 ways to see. First of all, you can see it in temporal life and spiritual life. Begin with the end in mind. First of all, we all human beings, we are also destined to end our life also. One day will be gone. At the same time, we have whatever life is given to us, we need to enjoy this. We need to make it purposeful. We need to make it resourceful. Therefore, here is what he is suggesting. It is about how you envision your life for the days or moments, every moment what you are doing, it has to be a purpose. It has to be a vision. The word vision is also associated to the why. Why I want to do what I am doing now. Therefore, I see there are 2 interesting ways that can be explained. Let us give an example. Think about you are an architect, okay, and you are given an assignment to build a beautiful, amazing house for someone, okay? Now, you don't start it immediately and do this building and hammers and bricks and all those things. You don't start with this. You start with the blueprint. You need to start visualize what kind of house I want to make it, so that it will be purposeful. It will give the comfort. It will make the meaning. The same with life, and this is why it is so important that we human beings, what we do, we must start with the thinking that what is the purpose of doing this work for myself and for the community, for the society. I think, therefore, the visualization is the key. I see this way. When I want to do something, I first see that what is the end result, what I want to see. So I visualize it. And we human beings are fortunate that we have the power to think. We have the power to be proactive, right? So in other words, we can map out. We can have a vision. It is like a guide for us. So whenever I or you, as an architect, you first design in your mind, and then you, of course, you keep for yourself, for your reference all the time when you are doing. You go back and to see what you are doing and what is the purpose. So therefore, it is given us the opportunity to have a clear sense of why we are doing, and it is also giving us the opportunity to make a long-term plan so that it will be strong and it can provide us all the desire that we have in our mind. So this is what I see Stephen Covey.
Yeah,
I know you said
that I've
Stephen
got.
R. Covey has
Stephen R.
has
Covey,
has
exactly.
given us an amazing gift that everyone needs to follow.
Yeah, it's so true. It's really also like what really helps if you have your goal, your vision in mind. It also helps you. What he also obviously discusses, but that we will discuss more later, is it helps you really to live a value-based life, right? So that's also anticipating because you know, okay, well, kindness is a value of you, therefore you live it, or be genuine to people, let's say, right? And you base your life on those values, right? So you're less likely inclined to react, to other people's, with your feelings, right? Because you have certain values that you want to live up to, or in this case, you begin with the end in mind, your goal, your vision, what it is ultimately, and therefore you have to walk the talk, right? So it gives you a clear indication, it's a compass for life in order for you to truly strive and make a difference for whatever it is. Because what happens usually is if you don't have a goal in mind or a vision, let's say, is that we just float on basically the open sea, with no direction, and we just float around, and our waves are just throwing us around, and we are ultimately going nowhere. And I think that is one of the big causes too why so many people in the Western world are either depressed and so on, because there's a lack of meaning, a lack of purpose, and I think that's extremely important, and that's why I think his work is so valuable, I think, really for everyone. It really is basically to building like a company, it's like a CEO for your life, right? A company for your life, being a CEO truly for your life, for your own, in order to make an impact. And otherwise, it's nearly impossible to go anywhere, right? That's why I think start with your goal in mind, or with your end in mind, of course. It's very important. And it's also very interesting actually in general in life, right? The very moment you're born, the very moment we are also getting every single day closer to death, so there too, ultimately we want to ask ourselves, okay, what do we want to have contributed, in this life for others and ourselves, and especially for our loved ones, right?
Well, I think you raise a very important point here, because this is exactly, we don't talk a lot about our end of our life, but it is a reality. We need to also plan for that too, so therefore what amazingly he has made it, and as I mentioned at the beginning, that it is a temporal life, our day-to-day life, our earthly life, and also the spiritual life. This is so nicely is combined. And by the way, you also mentioned that it is our personal leadership. It is the vision. It is the leadership for yourself. We discussed about proactiveness yesterday. To be proactive, what is his Stephen Covey's first step we was talking about. But you see here how nicely it is coming along, because you cannot be proactive until you do not have a why there, a vision there, So therefore, it is about management now also. It is about
management of yourself.
Yeah.
Exactly,
So
yeah.
it is not enough to be a leader, but leader has to be also the quality to manage itself. Otherwise, in the history, we see lots of leaders were great people, but they were ultimately not doing well in management. So how to combine both management and leadership? This is what nicely explained with this amazing direction, what he calls the begin with the end in mind. My very favorite quote all the time. I ask myself, and I always share with my students, my fellow comrades, friends, with everyone. So, what do you think?
Absolutely, I'm 100% agree with you. It's basically like a map, right? It's like a map, or now GPS. We don't necessarily have maps anymore, but we have a GPS. Wherever we want to go, we put the address in and it leads us there. And that's basically with your end in mind. It's just more abstract in this sense, right? But it's really going from one place to another, simply put. And I think the most important thing, at least, for myself, is life. That's how I see life. Life is ultimately, for me, it's a preparation for dying. Because I think the most important thing is ultimately, how you are going to die. And I think when you think deeply about those kind of questions, then you really start living. You really start living a value-based life without regret, ultimately, at the very end of your life. I think that's so important. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Monjour, for another discussion about 7 Habits of Highly Effective People by Stephen R. Covey. Thank you. That's why knowledge matters.